watch some videos about Tao Te Ching and Lao Tzu's idea that we should look at the dark side of the moon. So instead of the light, you go into the opposite, which is like simplicity instead of working too hard, rest, or simplicity instead of complication, rest instead of work, and things like that. But another interesting thing is that a lot of self-help or books on philosophy, they always point inwards into your own self, and it gets limited by the objects of this world, like Mother Earth or the moon, the ocean, mountains. You can't really have a bigger sense of things other than this small speck of dirt in the sky. But once you read sci-fi, you realize how small the moon is actually in the grand scheme of the whole universe. Or even if you read the Bible, yeah, God is so much bigger than what we are on the inside. Yeah, I know they say that the universal force and chi and things like that flows through everything, from the Big Bang, the galaxies far away until whatever's inside of us. But they always try to point it inside us, like the kingdom of heaven is inside you, as you are so without, or something along those lines. Of all the books that I hear and the philosophies that I hear, it's either separated. This is the line of separation where it's you look inside yourself for the solution, or you have help from something external for the solution. Christianity gives Jesus and God the Father, and everything else gives our own self as the God. Yeah. So it's also the sense that there's no doubt all these philosophers did exist. Jesus, Buddha, Rumi, Confucius, Lao Tzu, Plato, Aristotle, Marcus Aurelius. But at the end of the day, their claims of who they are, none of them claim to be God except Jesus. And his death on the cross and resurrection from the dead is something that, of all the stories that you hear, is the one that is really, really unique. Like no other belief system has this resurrection. Buddhism has reincarnation, which is a different thing of having a past life and being reincarnated in this world. You only can really escape by reaching nirvana. But for Christians, it's like one life on earth. After death, it's either heaven or hell. So it's you escape once you're dead. But yeah, interesting ideas and thoughts of the claims of all these people, which were recorded historically. So still on the path and journey of discovering what this world is. I have no doubts that every belief, especially the really old ones, have some truths in them. But as I learned as a kid, all truth is God's truth. So even like 1 + 1 is not written in the Bible, but mathematically it's still true, and it's just the way that God created numbers, maths and physics. And even for time, like a second, if you go outside of Earth, when things become relative, time warps. So really, actually, things are only from the perspective that we see things. So that's another point of view that a lot of self-help and philosophical books have, that it's not how things are externally and how they exist that gives them meaning and truth, but how we perceive them, like our conception of them or our attitude and thoughts towards the outside world is how we shape reality. But I don't think relativism works like that. To be relative, there always needs to be a point of reference, and God being the greatest point of reference, I think, is one of the most amazing things that a person on earth can access to when you spend time and read his word and get his point of view on things. So yeah, that's a little ramble about philosophy and the philosophers.